So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with a lot of shit right now, actually. The market as a whole looking like certain things are selling off, which could be liquidations, but I'm sure it's tied to the repo market. And I think it's the turnaround of the repo market, which is why you see so much shit. Like, if you look at the daily movers on Robinhood, I mean, you'll see this all over the place, where right at the beginning of the day, there are so many stocks that drop just like this immediately. And it doesn't make much sense. I initially thought it was, liquidations happening. I'm starting to think it's more tied into the repo market. I really don't know, but I did notice that there is see another sharp drop right at the open. It's a lot, and every day it's different. Every day the daily movers change, but like a bunch of them have this movement right here at the beginning of the day, which usually means, some sort of liquidation, some sort of sell-off. But I noticed just going through here, and I've noticed it for a little while now, that I usually end up seeing stuff that I was invested in earlier this year before AMC had me consolidate most of my shit. Like these guys, like Sensen, I was invested in them earlier. And then I decided to go look at Lopix again and figure out this may not have just been an AMC entire attack. I think that there is an attack on retail as a whole happening. I mean, they have the information, they know what we're invested in. And I just went back through Lopix because I was only looking for AMC when I first started looking at it, and I realized earlier this year I was invested in MIT, I was invested in ATRS, I was invested in ATNX, I was invested in CBay, I was invested in Excella, I was invested in GNW, is basically what fucking Weeble gives everybody. I was invested in GNW, I was invested in Ideonomics, I was invested in Kala and COSP, and the other cost too. Invested in Nex. Invested in Seal. Invested in Sensonics. Invested in Sensen. Invested in BBIG and invested in WTI. And I know there's a lot of Reddit following on that as well. Some of them are considered short squeeze plays also. Now I'm wondering if this is just a broad attack on retail. Like in general, just a broad attack, and they're still shorting ETFs, not only to give them an out if someone comes knocking to say, oh, you were only doing that to short AMC, and now that it's gone, you're not shorting it. No, now they can still continue to short this and hit some other people on the way. There's quite a few popular names in the Reddit group on there, so I'm like, eh. But again, I don't know. I know it all has to do with the repo market. I know for the majority of what's going on with the market, it has to do with the repo market. That's a no-brainer. Yeah, see, because this is how stocks should move. This is normal. If you look at a stock on the week, this is typically how it moves. These gigantic straight lines down, or these straight lines up that you'll see on some stocks is not normal at all. It's so hard to track too. But yeah, I think retail as a whole is being attacked. Everything that's ever been talked about, invested in. I think they have a lot of our information and have had it for quite some time. And that's why shorting of ETFs has become so popular as of late, because that's not really a popular practice. Um, and we've seen a whole lot of it lately, which of course because of AMC and GME, but yeah, they peppered in some other popular stocks, and I've noticed a lot of stocks that I had myself personally, had nothing to do with Reddit or short squeezes or anything, that are in the ETFs. I'm sure they're still shorting. Um, this repo market is so fucking just because it's not transparent. Like, it's just not. It is a pain in the ass trying to figure it out and follow it. It's just not transparent enough, and they damn sure don't make it simple to follow, any breadcrumbs anywhere to get to a solidified answer about anything. But yeah, it's just something I've been noticing for a while, for a couple months, like since June, that there's these daily movers on Robinhood, and they are just straight right at the open, just tanked, and they're usually small stocks, usually nothing huge, something you'd see in ETFs for the most part. So I can't just chalk it up to liquidations. I know Charlie put a video out there talking about maybe some shit's being auctioned off, which has crossed my mind since that filing came out a while ago, giving them the authority to basically do that, to auction off their portfolios if they don't have the margin requirements when they get margin called. That could be what's happening. I don't know. But again, so I'm saying just be careful with your investments as a whole. Um, be careful going on Reddit and other places looking for the next hot thing. Because they're in there now. They're in Reddit. They're on YouTube. They got access to a lot of our information. They know how we trade, what we trade, and yeah, it's just be careful. It is a very difficult time to be an investor. Like, you already saw it. Fucking AMD just running like it should, and then immediately kicked in the nuts back down. And there wasn't a lot of people talking about AMD specifically. There's like two people, and that I know of, that I've learned shit from, that were invested in AMD, and they've been invested in it for a long time, for years invested in it. And now it started gaining some traction. In like the last 2 weeks or so, people have been talking about it a lot, especially in the retail community, like a whole lot. So yeah, I don't know. Just please be careful with your shit. It's just a trap. It's like they're trapping people, especially with the bullshit limitations on day trading. If you don't have 25 grand, I mean, they can easily force you. So they've basically been doing to me. Like, I'm following trends and investing in them, and then immediately that trend gets kicked in the fucking face. Like, as soon as it starts gaining money, it's fucking just gets slaughtered, and then I have to get rid of it or I lose all my money, and then there's a fucking day trade. And it's damn near impossible, literally, to make money as an individual retail investor with, under 25 grand when you're up against day trading rules. If you don't have some day trades, you fuck around and lose a nice chunk of change. Just be careful. So that's what all this is about. This video, just be careful, be careful, be careful. Do not trust Reddit posts, please. Do not trust everything you see or hear on YouTube about what's hot to invest in, because at this point, it really doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't. And I am noticing a huge trend in many retail favorites, not even just short squeezes, but favorites that are getting hit. So, be careful. If you're in them for the long term, whatever. Well, it should ride out, should balance out eventually. But with a market crash looming, there is no telling, what's going to be what. Who's going to have to pull out of what. Nobody knows exactly how many hedge funds are in some of our fucking beloved stocks, maybe who have gotten in since after June 30th. And we're thinking it's us, piling into stocks and making some money, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the motherfucker's going to get tanked. So just be careful.